Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back. I'm late, I know, real life, that's all I gotta say. Life is very consuming and I only got so much time, but I am trying my best and I hope this comes out in time to help a lot of you. Now, this is gonna be the high score challenge for Maleficent and I'm gonna help everyone try to make that 10 million score to at least get a good position, possibly stay in top 5,000 and get yourself a good amount of peats. Now for my first strategy, it's going to be the Meowjesty, and I know a lot of you are going to probably relate to this better, but this is a harder strategy to use, and if you don't have Meowjesty and you have a better AoE medal that is like guilted to as much as this is guilted, is probably going to take you just a little bit farther, or just help you get that better credits system going on, the L method. Now Meowjesty is random attack, so it's harder to do to the beginning mobs, but that's another story. This is a setup enough to help you guys get an idea of what to do with your medals, so you don't have to copy this, but understand my thought process when it comes to these high score challenges. Now, the three main medals you want is a buffer, your really heavy hitter, and then a support medal to take care of the mobs that don't actually die. Now, that support medal is a farmable medal that you can keep transferring your skills so you don't waste all your skills on medals you can't use after. Grab a third farmable medal, put it on it, and sacrifice it for the next high source challenge. Now I put Paralysis Plus on Meow because I have plenty of them and I don't mind destroying this medal later to put the skill into a next medal. So I got Paralysis Plus to back up my heavy hitter, which is Meowjesty. Meowjesty has attack boost 3, but you can you can put, I can't believe my throat's going so bad today. You can put attack boost 2 max instead onto this, because that way you always have the consistent damage and you don't have to keep resetting so much. You're just going to lose a little bit of power, but it might be enough to carry you. But if you have attack boost 3 and you threw it on this, that is a great skill to have on Meowjesty, and it's actually a lot better than attack boost 2 max out of the high score challenges. Now, your buffer for this one, because let me show you right now. They give us Answer Them Wise and Uniform Kari, so you have two really good buffers that you can use that you should have from all these pulls that they've been giving us. Even this new one has them, but I didn't get that from that, I got that from the previous ones. On my Uniform Kari, I put APP on it, which is Attack Prize Plus. It wasn't necessary, so don't think that you need to put on there, but it does help. It's not as good as it is on other medals, but because she is AoE and Attack Prize Plus, and I will be activating her a lot, I'm hoping to get a little bit of return from that. Even if it's 1 SP, 2 SP, that will make the difference when you're clutching the end. So important is your buff, your power medal, and a support medal. Now these two medals right here, Shmi and Lumineer, are only here because I want to make it simple, but for a lot of people, you'd be using your debuff medals. If you have Jack and Sally, if you have Illustrated Sora, that gives ×2 to power buff. If you have Crocodile, that does the same thing. Shmi is here because he's 7% and he has poison on him. That's more support. If I can't finish off an enemy, I'll poison him. If I had more Meow Wows, I'd put him here with a poison plus. That way it can always hit all of them. That little bit extra damage will carry you farther too. But for these two, you want a medal here with defense boost 1 or greater or second chance, and then you want a medal with poison here. And like I said, Shmi is part of the list, so I get an extra 7% because of that. And that's why I put Shmi there with poison instead of poison plus, because he already had poison from a previous high score challenge. Now, like I said, those two medals are very situational. You put what you want there. If you have a 40% medal and you have poison plus on it, that's fine. But like I said, those poison plus or paralysis plus should be on a farmable medal. Anything you have that's a debuffer or a buffer. So let me just go a little bit more into it. Kingdom Hearts 2 Kari does buffs. You have Megara that does debuffs. So anything that's going to help you make your Meowjesty hit harder on those end enemies. So let's go into the friend medal now. For the friend medal, my party's awesome, and I thank Nicholas so much. He has an HD Sora with Sleep Plus on it, and that's a game changer. Now it's 21%, so it doesn't matter if, let's say you have this medal or Lee with Sleep Plus on it, use that over an HD Sora. And Sleep Plus is going to make a big difference compared to that 21%. Losing that 7%, but having that Sleep Plus to make you go farther is going to get you a better score, because in these high score challenges, you can actually go in with almost no percent of your own, like you've seen in my previous video. I only had the HD source 21%, but because my Keyblade was good enough to carry me so far, I don't need all those boosts to actually make a score. And actually the score I have now was beat by that because of the setup I did, and I didn't use any legendaries. So if you have a setup that's really strong and you can make it far to this high score challenge, try that first before you do anything else. Because the farther you make in these type of high score challenges, the more points the enemies are going to give us and the higher score you're going to get. So like I said, if you have a Lee that has a setup down here of Sleep Plus, use the Lee instead of a HD sword, because that's going to help you a lot more. But for us, we're lucky and our teammates are amazing, so I'm going to use an HD sword with Sleep Plus. So since we are using power, we're going to go to the speed path, which is all green enemies. Now there is a system where you should be tapping everything and then using a certain metal, but because I don't have a good metal to rely on, it doesn't matter what I do in that starting situation, I always end with 63,000. But I'm not going to go into detail with that. I want to pass this as fast as possible so I can grab my 2 strategies I wanted to tell you, and you guys can get an idea. So it's really bad to swipe, don't swipe, swiping's bad, but I just want to clear the enemies as fast as possible. All these until level 200, you don't have to worry about using any SP yet, unless you want to squeeze every little bit of score out of these enemies. For these ones right here, I'm going to use Meowjesty. Meowjesty's ability is going to take out all of them if I'm lucky enough, and it usually does even if I'm unlucky, so don't worry about that. We're down 1 SP, but the next enemy has a chest and it's a cannon. You want to try to throw poison. If poison hits, then you could use your buff metal here, and you could use Meowjesty, but I'm going to go Meowjesty because if his skill goes off, he's going to take him out no problem, even without the poison. If it doesn't, then you can 2-turn him, and that's not going to affect your score. So grab the chest, go in the next room. We're full SP, which is great. This is a level 180. You can try to throw a poison on him. If it goes off, that's going to be great because Uniform Kari and Meowjesty is going to be really random attack. So activate your buff metal. APP goes off. It's not a lot, but it's going to make a big difference. Now you want to use Meowjesty. AB3 goes off. It'll definitely take out 1, if not both. In this situation, we took out both, and we got plenty of SP. Next room has an SP chest. We're not going to grab it just yet. Focus on the invisible. You want to take him out. If not the invisible, the other guy. But either way, if invisible goes too low, he'll get a buff and do more damage. The other guy will stun you if he stays alive. So we're going to try to take out both. So we're going to go all out since we do have an SP chest sitting there. And we're going to probably have enough SP to do all this. Now hopefully AB3 goes off. If it does, we're comfortable. 1's going down for sure. And then we just got to deal with 1. Or if you're lucky again, you'll take out both. So Meowjesty is random. I missed that chest. That does suck. But Meowjesty is random. As you can see, sometimes it will take out both. So you got to just keep doing this one over and over and over. For these guys, it should be good enough just to use your Uniform Kari. If not, use your actual other metal that you have. Mine's Lumineer. But I'm going to try without it just to show you. AB3 goes off, and that's going to take out all 3 again. Like I said, if you're lucky enough, you can just keep going, going, and going. And my APP did go off, so it's not too bad that I missed that other chest. It does make a big difference that I'm missing 3 SP now, but we'll make do. Same thing for this guy. Try to poison him. If you have Poison Plus, you get to try to poison both of them. From this point here, though, I'm going to use all of my abilities that are going to help my Meowjesty do the most damage. So Lumineer, APP goes off. It's not a lot, but it makes a difference. And hopefully this goes off too. This should take out 1, which only have to deal with 1 more next turn. Now you have a choice here. If you're comfortable on your SP, activate HD Sword if you have it. If you don't, then don't worry. Just try to get that Sleep Plus off. But I'm going to activate it because HD Sword's buff will carry on to next turn, and that'll help me obviously do a little bit more damage. And that's if I survive this attack, which we should, especially if defense boost goes off. If not, you can see I'm already at 7 mil. We survived, we don't get stunned, so we're going to go a little farther than this. I don't know what happened to the buff. My buff's supposed to be there. I guess he took off the buff. That's probably something he does. I didn't even notice that. Or I probably didn't activate it. I don't know, guys. I gotta see that again. But we're gonna go all out because we want to make it farther. Hopefully APP goes off. It does. We're gonna get a little bit SP off that. Not a lot, but it makes a difference. And Meowjesty to finish him off. And then we're going to the next room. So we're sitting at 3 SP. Could have been more if we got that chest. And we're ready at 8 million. So from here, we're gonna try to poison one. We're not gonna activate anything because we can't. Hopefully Kari gives us some APP. It doesn't. I'm gonna throw down Meowjesty. It's gonna probably take out nothing because it's not that good. We're gonna use Nova at this point. Try to get a little bit more score. It does give us a big more score. It doesn't add to the multiplier and the big bonus, but if you're gonna die here, you're not gonna be able to take them all out. That's a score you're gonna have. So use it for last actually, but since I have nothing else, Paralysis Plus goes off. I'm lucky, and then the choices here are use the Sora, get that little bit more, but I think it's only gonna do 1 damage. So let's just try to sleep everyone and save that 1 SP. So everyone attacks us. We're done. That's 8,426,000. I would have had 4 SP at this point, or I would have been able to take out a couple of them, paralyze a couple of them, sleep them, and go more farther. But you can see, just with this idea, use your medals. You might be in a better position than that, but that's just the rough draft of how you go through these high score challenges. So hopefully that helped you out. If you're not using Meowjesty, use an AoE medal. The whole point is have your buffer, have your really powerful medal, and then everything else is to support at. Paralysis Plus, APP, defense boost, poison, all that is to support that strategy so your one medal can take care of everything. So that's the first one, and we're going to get into the second one in just a second. Alright, for our second strategy, and this is the strategy I got this high score with, 11,432,000. If you saw my previous high score attempt, I used Jack and Sally, Illustrated Kari, and I actually got lower score than this. So this is actually pretty cool that with a much simpler setup, you can get a better score than using a bunch of legendaries. So for this setup, Marluxia B is going to be our power medal. It is going to be the medal that does all the damage, and we want to support this medal as much as possible. So that is not the setup, that's the setup. That's the setup I used before, and it turned out a lot better to use this setup right here. So that's a good comparison there, eh? As you can see, like I said, that's your power medal, that's doing all the damage, everything else is supported. Same thing as the last strategy, Uniform Kari with APP. You don't have to put APP on her. I actually did 11,400,000 with just the Uniform Kari there with no APP, because this actually costs a lot less than the Meowjesty strategy, because he only costs 2 and you can always activate him and get about the same thing back. So Uniform Kari or Ansem Wise, it depends on what you have, and it doesn't need APP. APP is just a little bit of a bonus to try to get farther. Again, your farmable medal with a skill you want, preferably another farmable medal with the skill you want, but in this case I already had someone that had poison, so I'm just using him. And like I said in the previous one, I used Lumineer. In this one, Kingdom Hearts 2 Kari is going to help boost my Marluxia attack a lot farther. If you have Jack and Sally's, if you have, I think it's the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, if you have him, anything to boost him or debuff the enemy, throw it in there, put a defense boost on it, APP, whatever you want. Just try to make the strategy towards you, but with this strategy, I made 11,400,000. Same thing, you want a friend medal that has Sleep Plus or Paralysis Plus on it. So it doesn't matter if it's 7%, 14%, or 21%. That's going to make a big difference compared to just having a 21% boost. I'm going to look for his medal again. Nicholas, where are you? There you are. Now, if you have a teammate that's really cool and guilted the medals fully, then you can probably use that and make it farther, but I prefer the Skill Plus, especially since it's Sleep, because that's going to help us make such a huge difference going farther into this. Since we're speed, we're going to go into the magic route, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the L method, how to tweak your score to get the most out of it. And since Attack Boost 2 maxes on our Marluxia, we're going to be able to do pretty much the best score we can get. So you don't want to take out all the enemies. My medals are actually going to kill probably 3 of them, and this one's not going to do that one. I'm going to get full score off 2 of them. And if you saw in my power route, I had 63,000, and no matter what I did, it stayed at 63,000. But because I used Marluxia's ability, I'm at 65,000. So we're already 2,000 more than that other strategy. But that's not because the other strategy is bad, it's just my medal's random, so I can't activate him for the little guys. And he has too many attacks, where Marluxia's 1 attack. So same thing for this, we just want to make sure that the enemies stay alive. We don't have to put all our damage to 1, just make sure they're all up, use Marluxia, and just keep going like this all the way. We're not going to have to use our buffs anytime soon. Marluxia B, if you did get a really good guilt on him, you're probably going to one-turn a lot of these for a while. And if not, just use your buffs with him and you're going to be able to two-turn most of these enemies. So don't worry if your Marluxia was at 60%, try to, or 50%, try to get it to 60% or higher, and you should be fine doing this strategy. So I'm just going to swipe all these because I know my multiplier is going to come from Marluxia B, so it doesn't matter. You usually don't want to do that. Don't follow this. This is not the actual method. Go look at like Keeper's Elf videos. It'll explain a lot better. So for this guy here, again, we're not going to use any buffs. We're just going to use Marluxia B. Activate it. It's going to take him out. If your guy is not strong enough, then just experiment. Use some debuffs. Buff him up. Or just take 2 turns because that guy won't take you out. Same thing for here. It's not until level 200 when we start needing to support our Marluxia B. Or whatever your reverse speed medal is, or whatever your power medal is. You don't need to support them until you have to. So save that SP and just keep on going. Now for these guys here, I'm going to try to poison them. It poisoned it. It's good. I'm going to activate my Uniform Kari just to get that little bit extra damage in there. Or I can take a chance here, and especially if your Marluxia B is not strong enough, then you don't have to activate Uniform Kari. So I'm not going to. I'm going to show you without activating it. If he's at 100%, he's going to do this much damage. If not, you're going to have to two-turn him no matter what. And since there's a chest there, you can use your buff medal and your Marluxia B, but I just wanted to show you that you can rely on these paralysis plus, poisons, or getting hit once by this guy. You should be fine. So we're going to go and back to our Marluxia B, use his ability, and it's going to take him out. So if your Marluxia B is a little bit weaker than this, you still be able to two-turn this guy, no problem. Especially if you use some buffs because the SP chest is going to restore you to 19. For these guys here, you want to get a little bit buff in there, so we are going to start using our buffs. I could probably get away with not using the buff, but like I said, most of you are not going to have 100% guilted Marluxia B, so activate your activate your Kari and Marluxia B, and there we go. We're at 5 million already. So there's an SP chest here. They're level 300. This is where we want to start getting serious and not take any chances. Activate whatever debuff or buff medal you have. I do think that if you just activate your Uniform Kari and your Marluxia B, you should be able to two-turn this, but we don't want to take the chance, and we want to take them out in 1 turn, just in case they do enough damage. Now, it's not going to take them out in 1 turn, but it will take out the other guy, and that's the point. We don't want to get hit by 2 enemies. You see what I mean? If they were both alive, we would have been gone right now. So try to throw in that poison. We want to try to rely on Sleep Plus and Paralysis Plus if you don't have enough HP or defense. So from this point right now, I do think Marluxia B is strong enough, so we are going to just use him. If it's not, I'm totally wrong, and this is terrible. This is terrible. Hopefully Sleep Plus goes off. It does. So with my experience right now, use your actual buff medal there to take him out, because it takes more than 1 turn. Poison doesn't go off, so we are going to have to use Marluxia B one more time, which is terrible for our SP. We should just activate the buff last turn. So at least you know now, level 300 wizards, activate your buff for both turns. So you are going to waste a total of 12 SP. But if you have APP or that SP chest there, it should be okay. Now for these guys, we got to go all out. We need to make sure that we're taking them all out. So hopefully Paralysis Plus goes off. It doesn't. But we are going to do enough damage with our 2 buffs and Marluxia B because their HP is not as much as those high wizards. There we go, we're at 8,000,004, we got 6 SP, we got an SP chest here, grab it, especially if you screwed up like I did a couple of rooms back there. Hopefully we can poison one, it doesn't go off. Activate all our buffs. We want to throw down Paralysis, it doesn't go off, just in case. And this might be where we use Nova. I can't remember how far I made it. I think I made it without using Nova, but I'm going to activate Nova just to take them out because I want to go farther. Now if Nova doesn't go off, we got to rely on Sword to sleep these 2. Or I can probably activate it and see if we do a little bit of damage. So I'm going to activate it, see if we can do damage. Sleep Plus goes off, only hits 1. Do we do enough damage? So no. Sword doesn't do enough damage. I couldn't remember. I just wanted to take the chance. But Sleep Plus did go off. One of them is going to hit us. If both of them hit us and defense didn't go off, we would have been done. Try to throw Poison. Doesn't work. Paralysis doesn't work. Doesn't work. Hopefully a swipe from Marluxia B will take him out. It does. And we're good to go to the next room. And we're at 10 million. So this is where we want to make it 10 million. That's going to get you good position, and it's also going to get you all the prizes. So for this last guy, we want to get as much damages here as possible. So we're crossing our fingers, poison goes off. It doesn't, but we want to go all out with all the buffs to squeeze as much score out of him as possible. So hopefully Paralysis Plus goes off here. It doesn't. we're still in a good position if Sleep Plus goes off on both of them. So we're going to do as much damage as possible, and you're going to see this where I got my score. Right here, 11,662,000. I got even higher than I did before without any legendaries. Sleep Plus, and we'll probably do a little bit more damage. No Sleep Plus, it ends here, but as you guys can see, with this kind of little bit of strategy and retrying, you're going to get a score like this, and that is amazing for a lot of you. So you're going to keep after changing some medals around, some skills, but the key thing is your heavy hitter, your buff, and your support skills. Everything else is there to reduce the damage or increase your damage of the medals. Before we end, I'm just going to show you what rank I'm in, just to get an idea where 11,600,000 gets you, as soon as my game loads. Raid boss, we can ignore you, go into the events. So my ranking for 11.6 got me at 1,414. So if you do want to be top 5,000, this is the strategy you want to work on, and you want to be really retry. Do not make your Keyblade full 6 stars yet, so you can get more out of this, but the point of this, for this high score challenge, is get as far as you can. So if, let's say with this strategy, I'm going to take away this Kari right here, and I'm going to add a Jack and Sally, and that's probably going to get me even farther than this did. Or Illustrated Sora, or anything that boosts or debuffs or stuns them, or anything that's going to help you get farther. Just do it and you'll get a better score. Don't worry about the percentage. Percentage is not as important as making it farther into the stage. So hopefully that helped you guys out. That's some ideas, some tricks you can do, or a good setup if you want over 10 million score. This is a setup to use. If this helped you out, let me know. Leave a like. If you like my guys, hit that subscribe button. Don't be a stranger. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.